What's up? I'm Brandon Taylor, and I'm a photographer. I shoot with analog gear as well as digital, but mostly everything is shot on film. I grew up with my dad as a professional wedding photographer, so I was around a lot of cameras growing up. Every event was me getting photos of me, or him getting photos of me. And but I never really wanted to be a photographer. When I started shooting, I shot on medium format, 35, and then FP 100C, rest in peace. As an artist, I paint and draw, and it just has the limitations similar to doing a drawing where you just have one pen, like a black pen, and you have to illustrate something. It's kind of that way with, you have your one film that you can use, and that just kind of inspired me to be able to have these limitations that are set up of, I can only shoot at this ISO, and it's black and white, or it's color, so these colors come out. So it's kind of a mix of all of that combined. I just love the look of it. The colors just look so real, and it's basically like what you just saw. I mean, depending on the film, but I don't know. It just has a different look and a different feeling. It seems more real, and the way that the lenses were made back in the day, it has kind of like a 3D quality to it, which you don't get as much with digital because everyone has the same camera, same lens, and everything just kind of starts to look the same after a while. It kind of gave me limitations of what I could and couldn't do, and it challenges you more to take the shot that you want on the first shot or maybe the second shot, but it just gives you the limitations to, you have 36 shots on a roll or 12 shots on a roll, and you have to make each one count. It's just kind of challenging you to make everything good and not just shoot just because you can shoot. I shoot weddings and stuff, and I shoot all that on film and events and stuff, but just the everyday life, those seem to be the photos that I enjoy the most. But I've recently been shooting a lot of fires, which has been fun, and I honestly have not seen one photographer out there shooting film at a fire. So I'm kind of that guy who shows up and winding his camera, loading film, and all the firemen are like, what is this guy doing? Is this the 80s again? You know, I'd pick film. It looks so good. You don't have to go and spend hours editing your photos, and it just is, you take the shot and it's there, and you have the negatives too in case your hard drives get corrupt. But yeah, digital also has its place. It's great for capturing a lot of photos at once and being able to step back and adjust and edit your photos. It's a lot easier with digital, and especially in dark situations, just the ISO or noise that you get from film. Sometimes it's pretty rough, but I also enjoy shooting with grain, so I've kind of embraced the higher ISO look into my photos a bit. I think it can, but it's after hours and hours of tweaking and adjusting the photo. I shoot my digital to look like film instead of shooting digital just to document. So I always kind of keep that in mind of if I shot this on film, how would it look? So that kind of plays into my images, but it's possible, but it's just a lot of manipulating, and I'd rather pay $10 to get a roll processed than 10 hours editing a whole bunch of photos. I shoot less, but I make each shot count. But I'll also shoot more if needed. If it's such a crazy scene where I'm okay, I'm gonna bracket this shot, and I'll take 5 exposures, you know. But it's nice because you can do that with digital. You just click, or you can even pull from one image to get that. But I think when I'm shooting black and white versus shooting color, it's a completely different mindset, because with black and white, you're going off contrast, highlights, shadow detail and different stuff. But when you're shooting with color, you're more of what do I want this image to say, or how does it how can I use the colors to make this image better? I've been working on a project called On the Way Home from Church, which I'm going to be making a book in a year or so. And it's basically all the photos that I take on the way home from church. So me driving back on a Wednesday night and I see a meth house burning up and I'm like, oh, I'll stop. And so it's kind of a mix of that, but I'd love to kind of continue that, but on film or even like large format. If I pulled out an 8x10 camera and just shot everything on Portra 400 or Ektachrome, that would be like the dream, but that'd also be really expensive, you know. I'd probably go with HP5, pushed to 800. That's what I shoot like 80% of my stuff on. It works so well. If you need to shoot in the sun, you just put an ND filter on, but you can just shoot in such low light with it, and it's so versatile. You can push it, you can pull it, and it just has such an amazing contrast to it, and the grain with it is so good. 35, I'd go with my Leica M6, and I have a 35, a spherical Summicron, and I've had this for about 4 or 5 years now, and it never leaves me. Like, I go to the grocery store, I have my Leica on me. It's like everything you need for a camera with like nothing else put on top of it. And it's super tiny, and it's just so compact. It's a little heavy, but I like the heaviness because it helps steady your shot. I think that you should try shooting film because it just makes you think about pictures that you're taking differently. When you have this mindset of, this roll cost me $5 or $6 and then I'm paying $10 or $15 to get it scanned, you're at like 20 bucks and you're like, okay, I have 36 shots, so it's like 75 cents to $1 per shot, and you're like, is this, like, if you think about it in terms of like you like handing someone a dollar bill each time you take a shot, you're like, okay, I'm gonna make this photo perfect. It's like shooting a Polaroid. I think that it's honestly growing like crazy. I used to only know like one photographer that shot film, and now I know like hundreds of photographers, and I think it's gonna be getting a lot bigger. As you've probably seen in the past, it's grown a ton. Kodak's started coming out with new film, and Ilford too, and like Lomo, and I just think that it's gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm just hoping that they'll make some like new cameras again, so it's not just all old cameras, because I don't know, in like 20 years, I don't know if all the other cameras I have are gonna be alive. This probably will be, but I don't know about like all the point and shoots and different stuff. I'm Brandon Taylor, and I shoot film.